Hey, welcome back to New Day Northwest. Why is everything so expensive right now? Inflation has hit a 40-year high in the United States, and it's driving up the cost of just about everything, from gas to groceries to labor. Have you thought about getting a plane ticket right now? Don't. So what's going on and why? Here to explain the whole thing is UW economics professor Thomas Gilbert. Thank you so much for coming in. It's nice to see you.
My pleasure.
So what is going on here? Let's talk about the concept of inflation. Can you explain that?
So inflation, by definition, is simply the increase in prices. So it's not that inflation causes increases in prices. Inflation is a general increase in the price of goods and services in the economy. That's the definition of inflation.
So what is causing inflation to really inflate right now?
Yes. So there are three main drivers of inflation: demand, supply, and expectations.
Okay.
Let's work through one after the other.
All right.
So on the supply side, there are issues, and we've had issues related to COVID for a long, long time, and these issues are continuing. Like China is manufacturing at a lower rate, so there's less supply of goods. There's backlogs at ports.
Right.
There are not enough truck drivers. Goods just have a hard time moving around, and so this can lead, because there's not enough of it, and people want it, then prices rise.
Right.
So that's on the supply side. On the demand side, there's also exceptional demand. Consumers are demanding lots of goods, lots of services. They finally are moving around, so they want to fill up their tank, and they want to drive, they want to go on trips, they want to travel, they want to buy.
Get the heck out of Dodge, because it's been a long 2 years.
It's been a difficult time, and so people are buying. Like, demand is exceptionally high, and it's worth remembering that through the pandemic, we also supplied consumers with lots of financial support. There were stimulus checks,
right.
People saved, people were worried, people spent less, and so now people's bank accounts are relatively flush on average. And so they're coming out and like, well, we want to spend. And so you have demand being high, and so that can lead to an increase in prices, and the supply still lagging a little bit, especially given the exceptionally high demand that we're observing right now.
You mentioned the stimulus checks, and in a sense, it almost seemed at the time like the government was almost printing money, in a sense, because we knew that it was going to catch up with us soon. Can you explain that? How it works? We can't just create more money. We need to have it to be backed.
That's right. That's right. So there was, during the pandemic, we needed fiscal support. People were out of work. We were telling businesses not to operate. And so the fiscal support from Congress, this printing money, was necessary to get people through, the dark times of 2021. And that was great. And there was a lot of monetary support as well. Now, all of this, now that we're sort of a little bit like we're not quite out of the pandemic, but we're getting out slowly. This is leading to this demand. This is fueling this demand. Like, people can't afford it. They have, flusher balance sheet. They have savings. People aggregate savings in the U.S. is at an all-time high, and people want to spend it. So the point is, we can't keep doing this. The government cannot just print more, because this is only going to move demand up, which is only going to lead businesses to say, well, if people demand it more, then me as the business, I can just raise prices, and people will be okay paying more for it.
Vicious cycle.
And that's what we don't want to get.
So how does the government slow this down now? Can we put it in reverse? Can we recover?
So it's tricky. So there, I would say the focus is really on the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve has one key tool in its arsenal, which is the interest rate. So the Federal Reserve can raise the interest rate that it charges banks on their overnight reserves that they put with the Federal Reserves. So that's the overnight rate. So the banks now face a higher interest rate on their overnight loans with the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
As a result, the banks turn around and say, well, this is costing us more overnight, so we will raise interest rates on everything else. So on credit cards, on mortgages, on loans, for individuals and also businesses. So now borrowing by consumers or businesses becomes more expensive.
Right.
So as a result, the demand will slow down, because now borrowing is more expensive than it was 6 months ago. So this factory that I was planning on building, maybe I'll wait.
Yeah.
So then demand slows.
Okay, so as everyone starts to put it in neutral, ease off the gas, what should consumers be doing? What do we need to be thinking about to prepare?
So I think the key thing, what I'd like to say here is that there's one key thing that people should not do.
Okay.
And that's don't stop saving.
Okay.
It's not because inflation is going up, because there would be a tendency maybe to say, wow, prices are going up, I need to stop, save less, maybe even take money out of my savings account to maintain my lifestyle as prices go up. And that's a huge mistake.
That's a no-no.
People should maybe, yes, there might be some belt tightening going up right now, and this is sort of maybe inevitable, maybe people need to rearrange, but don't stop saving for retirement.
Okay.
Like every dollar you put into your retirement savings account, for instance, it will compound. There's still many years ahead for your retirement. And if people make these mistakes now, then they will never recover over a decade or two. So right now it's tough, I get it, but that's one thing that I really think is important for people to not do.
That's really good advice. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure to speak with you as usual. We hope to have you on again.
Absolutely.
As we brave this storm.
It's not easy.
Yes.